Ahoy there viewers and welcome back to another edition of Timbo's Oz Navy News. It's Wednesday 26th of March and Perth is the centre of the universe for the Navy at the moment. I'll explain more in today's headlines. Large naval flotilla converges at HMAS Stirling for 3 weeks of anti-submarine exercises. New ship Arafura arrives on HMAS Stirling. HMAS Sydney sails for 3-month deployment. $1 billion in defence spending to be accelerated in federal budget. ADV Reliant conducts strategic survey work in Solomon Islands. Vietnamese sailors take part in survival at sea training at HMAS Cerberus. Okay, let's get into it. 5 Anzac class frigates, air warfare destroyer HMAS Hobart, HMAS Choules and the submarine have converged at HMAS Stirling to take part in the largest anti-submarine exercise held in recent years. As well as 6 warships and the submarine, other Australian and New Zealand defence assets participating will include MH-60R Seahawk helicopters and P-8 Poseidon aircraft. About 1,300 defence personnel are taking part in the exercise over 3 weeks. Commodore Simon Howard said the exercise was the largest in recent memory. The Australian Defence Force is able to meet any threats to our maritime security in the Indo-Pacific region, he said. Our Navy is working hard and committed to the protection of Australia and its interests. We are one fleet, focused, lethal and ready. Well, it's a pretty impressive range of firepower down at HMAS Stirling at the moment. I don't think I've seen so many Anzac frigates in the same place at the same time. I hope to get some nice pictures during a FODEX. I'm sure they will during a 3-week exercise. And it'll also be good to see a fleet divisions held on the HMAS Stirling sporting field. It'd be great to see all the ships companies lined up and marching around the square. So again, I hope that happens during this exercise. It's pretty exciting to see so many ships, especially the Anzac frigates, in the same place at the same time. New ship Arafura arrived at HMAS Stirling on the 13th of March following its transit from the Osborne shipyard in South Australia. A defence statement said the offshore patrol vessel will start preparations for its commissioning into the Navy, which is expected to occur before the end of June. New ship Arafura was accepted by Defence in January for further tests and evaluation and is scheduled to sail for Darwin next Monday, 31st of March. HMAS Sydney sailed from Fleet Base East on Monday for a 3-month deployment. During the deployment, the destroyer will be taking part in Exercise Bersama Shield, alongside the 5-power defence arrangements nations Malaysia, New Zealand, Singapore and the United Kingdom. Chief of Joint Operations, Vice Admiral Justin Jones, said the deployment strengthened cooperation with partner nations across the Indo-Pacific region. Sydney's commanding officer, Commander Ben Weller, said the deployment would also coincide with the 5th anniversary of the ship's commissioning into service with the Navy on the 18th of May 2020. It was fitting that the crew would mark the milestone at sea.
What a great Navy Day it is as we celebrate this most special of events. And this ship, which we will shortly commission, will be one of the most advanced and capable warships in the region.
A truly world-class, impressive capability that will serve our great country with pride, with honour, for many, many years to come.
Sydney will join another 50 commissioned ships of our Navy. Our role is to defend Australia and protect its national interests.
This is the first time that we've commissioned one of Her Majesty's Australian ships at sea, and I reckon that's pretty cool. And you should be very, very proud of yourselves, of your shipmates, and the team, which is now Warships Sydney.
Labor will defy the Trump administration's calls for a substantial boost to Australia's military spending, sticking to its current funding trajectory in Tuesday's federal budget, while bringing forward $1 billion for submarine and missile programs. Defence Minister Richard Marles confirmed on Monday that the budget papers would show a $10.6 billion increase in defence funding over the coming 4 years. But the figure was already baked into the government's long-term spending plan and sees $5.3 billion shift into the 4-year forward estimates period from the government's decade-long $50 billion boost to defence spending. So did you get all that, viewers?
Well, what this will do is see us have ready HMAS Stirling, the Henderson Defence Precinct for the establishment of the Marine rotation force, the submarine rotation force west. This will see us be able to move forward at a faster pace in establishing the guided weapons and explosive ordnance enterprise.
Meanwhile, the budget papers revealed that as of June the 30th, taxpayers will have spent an astonishing $5.7 billion on the troubled Hunter-class frigates, with work only just beginning on the first hull. The program's approved budget for just 3 ships is $26.06 billion, putting the cost of the vessels at a whopping $8.6 billion each. Defence is also struggling to get new capabilities into service and keep its ageing warships and submarines in the water, as the AUKUS program devours a growing share of funding and personnel from across the enterprise. The AUKUS nuclear submarine program is expanding rapidly more than 7 years out from the promised arrival of the nation's first Virginia-class submarine, consuming an estimated $2.8 billion this financial year, rising to a predicted $6.8 billion in 2028-29. The Australian Submarine Agency is sucking up human resources to manage the program, growing to 665 personnel this financial year, a forecast 883 in 2025-26, and a planned 1,000 the following year. Australian Defence vessel Reliant deployed to Solomon Islands recently for vital survey work. In her first deployment this year, Reliant embarked with a crew of POGO engineers from the Army's 17th Sustainment Brigade to conduct survey operations in support of a joint Australian Solomon Islands project to complete construction of an eastern border outpost in Vanikoro. Indo-Pacific Infrastructure Branch Project Officer Captain Cameron Ray said, as Vanikoro was in the easternmost part of the country, it was vital to Solomon Islands government's trade links to Vanuatu and the wider Pacific. Reliant also conducted a port visit to Honiara, where she delivered 3 aluminium longboats to be fitted out before being given to the Royal Solomon Islands Police Force later this year. 17 Vietnamese People's Army personnel honed their ability to survive to fight at sea through combat survivability training at HMAS Cerberus earlier this month. It was a historic milestone for the Defence Cooperation Program, with the largest ever contingent of VPA personnel conducting the training at Cerberus's School of Many S's. The course included training in firefighting, damage control, and chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear defence.
Đừng có chạy, đừng có chạy.
Happy memories of the School of Many S's. The last time I had that kind of fun was back in 2003 when I was doing my REOC at HMAS Creswell. Fun times. Bit of news in the local papers. We got all the propaganda coming from the USS Minnesota's recent visit, with all the media climbing on board and being told how wonderful the US Virginia-class submarines are. Got a full page in the Sound Telegraph, the local Rockingham newspaper, which is a major outlet that needs to win over the hearts and minds for the AUKUS fans down in the Garden Island area. There's a big double-page spread here. Where are we? There we go. Navy missionary. Look at that. Awesome stuff. And also on the Australian AUKUS submarine propaganda front, there's this huge, great big ad. Double-page ad in last Weekend Australian, telling everybody how wonderful AUKUS is going, and a big ad by BAE Systems and ASC promoting the virtues of this multi-billion-dollar investment, which is all going so well. Anyway, that's today's show, viewers. I'm going to leave you with some footage of the Green Ghost HMAS Hobart rocking up at HMAS Stirling recently, ready to take part in the huge anti-submarine warfare exercise happening off our coast over the next few weeks. Exciting times. Until next time, that is all.